Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I have a new guitar to show you. This is a Glarry Semi-Hollowbody T-style guitar. About 3 weeks ago they contacted me to do a review for them, just see what these are all about. So they sent this to me, and in all honesty I was a little skeptical just because of all the reviews that I saw on YouTube. But probably a year ago I was looking at these, not this particular model, but probably their Strat style body, just because I wanted to learn how to do some setups and repairs and even some mods to it. And since these were pretty inexpensive, I didn't mind if I messed up on it, but I'm happy to have this one in my hand. So I'm going to show you kind of what it's all about, share some of the specs, some of the tones, and also my impressions of it. But before we get into any of that, when I did get this guitar, the strings were old, the frets were definitely oxidized, so they're really rough. The nut slot was cut inconsistently, the action was really high. So this guitar received a full setup before I did this video, just to make it play better, but I'll make sure to give my full impression of it when I got it. But it went through the whole setup process with adjusting the truss rod and the nut slot heights and action at the saddles, the intonation, and the pickups as well. And I definitely I polished out the frets just to make them play a little bit smoother. So let's go into some of the specs on this guitar. So as you can see, this is a thin line style T-style guitar. I'm going to read off some of the specs. So we have a basswood body, so starting down here, basswood. The whole guitar is really light. In fact, it's a little bit more neck heavy than anything, and I believe it weighs at just under 6 pounds. So basswood with the F-hole cut out right here. Down here at the bridge we have your typical Tele tray. And then we have, what's pretty cool is they have the brass saddles, and they're all individual saddles. Your typical control plate for a T-style guitar with the master volume, master tone, 3-way toggle switch, which it's not that bad. In the future I think I'll probably replace this whole electronic setup. We have a pearl pickguard. Then we have your single coil bridge, Tele bridge, and the neck humbucker. We have a side jack plate. Then on the neck, I have no idea what kind of material this is. They say it's rosewood, but when I cleaned it up and put some conditioner on it, it did not soak it up. So I would think that this is probably some sort of synthetic material that is made to look like rosewood. Let's see, we also have, they call them white copper frets. I've never heard of white copper frets, but I would call them probably like medium. So I don't feel much of the fingerboard, which is nice, because I really hate feeling the fingerboard when I'm playing. And again, they were kind of oxidized, so I needed to polish them up, and they turned out pretty well. The edges of the frets were pretty sharp, so I had to round those off as well. But the edges of the fingerboard itself are actually, they're kind of rounded over. I don't know if that was intentional, but it feels pretty comfortable. The neck, it's a maple neck. It's pretty thick, and actually I would say it's cut very inconsistently. Actually at the first fret it's the largest, and then it gets thinner as you get up the neck, which is kind of odd. At some point maybe it'll be sanded out. But then up at the headstock we have 2 string trees. On the back we have 6 inline tuners, and in fact before this video was shot, one of the little, oh, there it goes, see? So it kind of fell off, so you can see the exposed gears. So not the highest quality tuning pegs. That's about it. And something cool though that comes with the guitar, we have what Phil Knight calls a dust cover. So it's a gig bag, but it's not padded. But for anyone who's a beginner, that might be something nice just to protect the guitar. Also, we got a strap and a cable. So those come with the guitar as well. Just if you're a beginner, this will probably be a good guitar because it gets you going right away. So let's take you through some sound demos, and then I will just kind of sum it up with my overall impressions of the guitar. So after listening to those sound demos, you can probably guess where this guitar kind of is at its weakest, the pickups. So they are extremely unbalanced, which is not a huge deal because those things can be replaced easily, but probably not something you want as a beginner to have something that is just kind of unbalanced. This one is super muddy, and this one is really bright, and I would say a little bit hotter than this one as well. But where I think this guitar kind of shines is in the middle position, and I think it sounds okay. Again, I would definitely replace these pickups. Just from feeling the guitar neck, you can tell that the back is kind of unfinished. I don't really think there's any sort of satin finish on here, but you can tell it's kind of rough, so I would probably reshape the neck at some point, and then I would do some sort of lacquer on the back and then take it down to kind of a satin feel. But it seems like a lot of work for a guitar like this that was actually only listed at $119. Like I said before, the frets, they needed a lot of work. So I used some Music Nomad polish as well as StewMac fret erasers, and I went over all the frets, and they turned out pretty well. You can kind of hear they're still a little rough, but they turned out better than I thought. The action turned out okay. I was able to take it down to kind of where my specs might be, but it still just feels a little inconsistent. I had to cut the nut slots and widen them just a tiny bit. overall the guitar stays in tune okay. I can leave it overnight and it doesn't go out of tune that much just from sitting. But overall, it's not a bad guitar, okay? I think you can make any guitar work for your situation if you are willing to put in a little bit of work and maybe a little bit of money. But I think this is a perfect guitar for maybe a beginner or maybe someone who, like me, wants to have a project guitar that can turn into something great. So hopefully down the road you'll see this guitar again, maybe in a different form, maybe some upgrades, but I think the starting spot for upgrades would definitely be these pickups, which I think I might end up doing at some point, and then definitely at the same time the electronics. But hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out the link below for this guitar and all Glarry instruments, and I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you later. Bye.